Partnered by Times Influence.
Good evening, I'm Juhi Rajput and you're watching Emerging SME, our special initiative which celebrates the undiminished spirit of entrepreneurs of small and medium enterprises, which have carved a niche for themselves. In today's show, first we'll talk about Dr. Medhapurao Samant, an entrepreneur who left aside a comfortable bank job and decided to devote her life to uplift the poor and downtrodden slum women. Dr. Samant has been instrumental in building Annapurna Parivar, a conglomerate of 5 sister organizations working in all the slums in Pune and 1,000 slums in Mumbai. Take a look at this report. The microfinance activity, which began at a very small scale in 1993, today caters to more than 60,000 borrowers in all the slum pockets of Pune and 50% slums in Mumbai. Annapurna has a unique blend of the cooperative model and a traditional MFI setup.
Good evening, Dr. Medha.
Good evening.
And welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
What was the driving force behind venturing into microfinance operations, and how has been the journey so far?
See, when I came, this word microfinance was not much known. I was working for Bank of India in the 90s, and I could see very well that the banks were not lending to the poor women because the poor women did not have assets and collateral security to offer. At the same time, I could see just across the corner that the poor vegetable vendors who were women were borrowing and repaying to the private money lenders at very exorbitant rates of interest. So the driving force to experiment and prove that the poor women who have no asset, no collateral security can borrow, repay.
Now please tell us about your operation model, your area of operation, loan portfolio and your members.
In last 25 years, we have chosen a multi-state cooperative credit model. All our borrowers are our shareholders and they finance 35% of our portfolio. We also give them good dividend on their shares and good interest. So you see, we have about 100,000 shareholders, all women living in slums, out of whom 90,000 are active savers, out of whom 60,000 are active borrowers. We give 6% interest on their normal savings. We give 10 to 15% dividend. We have recently launched fixed deposit and recurring deposit schemes, and I am very happy that we could raise good funds. So today the portfolio size is 125 crores, out of which 35% is financed by the shareholders and 15% are the reserves and surplus. The rest of it is borrowed from banks and financial institutions. And we mainly operate in Pune, Mumbai and other urban slums.
Will you be interested to share some of the success stories of your members?
Yes, sure. Suvarna, another single mother, started with us 18 years ago with a loan of 7,000 rupees, has recently borrowed 100,000 rupees and she has her own tailoring unit where she has employed 10 other women like her. Kalimun, who was a bangle seller going door to door, has an artificial jewelry shop. These and thousands of such women, we are really very proud of them.
In addition to microfinance, Annapurna has a credit plus approach and also renders a host of other support services to its member and community. Please tell us about that.
We give lot of financial and non-financial services to our members. All of these services were started because they were needs of our members. We started community-based mutual insurance program 15 years ago because no commercial insurance company was offering affordable insurance products to the slum dwellers. We started community-based health, life and family insurance, and we are running successfully since last 15 years. It's covering 2.25 lakhs members. Each year we have been disbursing 1.5 crores of rupees by way of financial assistance at the time of sickness, deaths in the family and deaths of the borrowers. We also give educational sponsorship to the children of single mothers who are borrowers of Annapurna. We also give non-financial services in the form of financial literacy trainings and client education on health, hygiene and other issues. Very recently we have started a long-term savings program to enable our members to stay sustainable during their retired age.
Now I would like to ask you about your core team who could implement and execute your business plans and thus maintain the growth rate of around 30%.
We have an excellent core team, top level and middle level management team, back office and field teams. Everyone participates in the planning and budget. Each team works out how much they can do next year. That's how each one is committed to achieving it and thus enabling the organization to achieve 30% growth rate each year.
How have been the financial result of the company in recent 4 to 5 years, and did demonetization affect your operation and growth?
During the financial year 13-14, 14-15 and 15-16, we had maintained a growth rate of 30% each year. But demonetization was a big blow on our borrowers who are small entrepreneurs. But thanks to our cooperative model, our credit plus approach, our committed team and loyal clients, our highest NPA rose up to 2.5%, whereas industry-wide it had touched 20%.
What growth prospect you see for Annapurna in upcoming 5 to 10 years?
We have covered 100% of the slums in Pune, but only 1/3 of the Mumbai slums. So in next 5 years, we would like to cover all of Mumbai slums and also expand to other smaller cities and towns in Maharashtra. We would like to take the portfolio to 500 crores and it should be financed by the savings and recurring and fixed deposits completely. I am hoping that about 550 crores of deposits will be raised in next 5 years. I am sure we will be able to raise more deposits. In next 10 years, I would like to finance the portfolio 100% by way of deposits, making the Annapurna Mahila Cooperative completely debt-free. Thus, the small savers can contribute to the growth of Annapurna Mahila Credit Society, contribute to the growth of small and middle-scale enterprises.
Dr. Mehta, you have received several awards for the work you are doing for EWS community, women empowerment and social entrepreneurship. So what is the great factor about your job and what gives you the sense of accomplishment?
See, I still don't get the sense of accomplishment, but I feel happy about several facts. That 25 years ago, I started this journey all alone without any capital. Today, Annapurna Mahila Cooperative Credit Society has a good asset base, its own building, lots of reserves, having an excellent team in place, system in place. We use a lot of technology and we have our own software team. That in this journey we could empower more than 2 lakhs of families. The women members with whom we were working all the while are empowered. They participate in the decisions. I could raise crores of rupees from the banks and financial institutions who were not ready to lend to the poor women who did not have asset. So we have proved that a cooperative model can work. A cooperative run and owned by the women has worked.
Dr. Mehta, thank you for joining the show.
Annapurna believes low-income household needs more than just loans and has successfully been providing comprehensive poverty alleviation solutions for more than 10 years. Here we'll take a short break. Keep watching Emerging SME. Welcome back. Now we'll talk about Spring People. Ravi Kaklasaria, the CEO and founder, left the post of director in 2009 to start Spring People. 9 years later, under his leadership, Spring People has become India's biggest enterprise IT training provider, with a customer base comprising major IT companies pan-India and many Fortune 500 global organizations. Take a look at this report. Founded by IIT alumni Ravi Kaklasaria and Piyush Bajpayee, Spring People, a thought leader and pioneer of Enterprise Training 2.0, is today the biggest enterprise IT training provider in India. Ravi is an industry veteran with close to 2 decades of experience and extreme business growth orientation. He has spearheaded phenomenal expansion of Spring People, fighting off economic headwinds and competitive turbulence. Piyush is a seasoned business leader who has driven multi-million-dollar revenue streams for global startups before focusing on strategic initiatives and growth for Spring People.
Good evening, Mr. Ravi. Good evening, Mr. Piyush. Welcome to the show. Good evening. First of all, I would like to ask you, what was the idea behind setting up Spring People and how do you see the journey so far?
So, both of us come from IT background. We have been on the other side of the table, working as software engineers. We have consumed training and we have seen how bad it could be. Back in when we started 10 years back, enterprise training was dominated by mom and pop shops kind of thing, unorganized gray market training vendors, and it was quite messy. Organizations, enterprises, they used to get bad surprises. The confidence level of the enterprises was quite low. And that is when we decided we need to really revamp this entire enterprise training, make sure that the enterprises are able to outsource the training process with a lot more confidence, with a lot more trust, and we can bring that value. And that was the whole idea of setting up Spring People.
We started in the true startup style, just the two of us in the beginning. So it was a pretty humble start. But from the very beginning, we had the endorsement of some of the biggies, some of those technology leaders in the forefront of the technology, the emerging and leading technology space. They could see and they bought into our vision for the training industry, what we bring to the table and how we're going to transform the market.
Now, please tell us about your various training programs.
So, our training programs are created to serve the enterprises, mostly focusing on the big enterprises, organizations, IT companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, Walmart, Cisco, all these biggies. Our strength being mostly on the technology trainings. I think you name a technology, we deliver a training on that, anything under the sun. Our portfolio consists of almost 700 training programs. And in addition to that, we bring on table a lot of training programs on emerging technologies like machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, DevOps, blockchain, a lot of emerging technologies.
750 plus enterprises across India bank on Spring People for enterprise enablement, including Fortune 500 giants, major IT service companies, and big brands from e-commerce, travel, hospitality, BFSI, telecom, manufacturing, and automation sector.
Piyush, please tell us about your major clients.
Sure. We work with the bigs and smalls of the industry. In fact, we started with IT and some of the who's who of the industry, the Fortune 500 players. They are our oldest and strongest customers even to date. You're talking about the likes of Dell, EMC, VMware, Cisco, Deloitte, Accenture, Cognizant, L&T. All those continue to grow with us year on year, giving us lots and lots of business and going strong with us. We're talking about automotive industry, for example, Mercedes-Benz, General Motors, finance. We're talking about HSBC, Morgan Stanley, Standard Chartered, Visa. We're talking about e-commerce, the biggest players, Flipkart, Amazon are there. We're talking about travel industry, Yatra, Make My Trip. Lots and lots of those are flocking to us and putting their confidence in us, giving us all those success stories that we want to take and grow on.
Spring People's strong growth is being driven by the leadership teams who have several years of delivery management experience under their belt, together with a highly experienced, process-driven, dedicated team focused on customer success and trainer engagement.
Many MNCs and Fortune 500 companies have trusted Spring People as their training partner. How could you build this trust and reputation, and what makes your enterprise training programs the best?
As I said earlier, in the past, enterprise training was very unorganized, very unstructured. What we did was bring a lot of structure, a lot of process around that, where the enterprises started feeling a lot confident in outsourcing their training. What we do is take complete responsibility of the entire training process, whether it's pre-training, tasks, assessments, whatever it is, delivery itself, post-training tasks, assignments, evaluation, whatever is required, reporting, analytics, dashboarding, whatever is required. So we add a lot of value there, which I think very few competitors pan-India are able to do that kind of value addition when it comes to enterprise training.
From the very beginning, our focus has always been on quality of the training engagement in quotes over there. I.e., we are not just talking about the delivery of the training, the final piece, which most of the people look at and forget about the rest that is around that. So we work with our customers at the quality that they expect from us and they would want to succeed from the very onset, whether it's refining and defining the requirements, understanding what they need in terms of the skills gap that they have, the reskilling and upskilling of the employees that they need and perhaps haven't realized or haven't planned, driving those roadmaps for digital transformation for a lot of industries within themselves, moving on to orchestrating the whole end-to-end delivery piece of it to the quality and budget and within time, consistently reliability every time they need, going back to circling back in, taking the feedback, continually improving on it. So we are setting the standard for ourselves, for the industry, and every time going and elevating that standard. We are proving true to the customers on their expectations. And that has built the trust within those customers that, hey, this is not just one-off transactional, but a partnership model where these guys are part of our success and they take that success to the next level every time they work with us. And that's keeping the customers with us and that's helping grow the customers to us. The word of mouth is spreading.
Spring People's biggest strength is the quality of their trainers. All the instructors undergo a rigorous process of assessment and certification to ensure high standards of training.
Spring People, a company which I think anybody wants to work for. I love to work for Spring People, and the professionalism they show and the efficiency about conducting any training as far as their lab setups, their work environment, I mean everything's good about this, and I think any trainer wants to work for Spring People.
Spring People core leadership and management team who initiate and lead projects consist of specialists with deep expertise in their domains. Let's hear from one of their oldest employees, Archana, who handles an enterprise business team.
I love the working culture here. Here we have the freedom to implement and execute our own ideas. Moreover, all the policies here are employee friendly, which encourages us to take the ownership of our own work, and we do it in a more passionate way. I think this makes the organization very different and unique.
Let's now hear from one of Spring People's training partner, Mr. Nathan from MuleSoft.
The process that we put people through in Spring People is roughly the same process that we as MuleSoft trainers go through. So it gets that knowledge passed across from the Mule world into the Spring People world, and then you are essentially part of the MuleSoft family in India. You're our training certified partner in India.
What has been the driving force behind Spring People's strong growth story? And what is your vision for the future?
I think the most important factor that really drives us, what we really chase is creating a superlative learning experience for the participants. The people who really commit their time and their money into a certain objective of learning something.
The satisfaction that we see in terms of us raising the bar in the industry, helping our customers succeed, drives us all the time. Gives us immense pride that we are playing not just a transactional role in their journey, but really a key role, which is being acknowledged by our customers. They're coming back to us, they're validating what we are doing, our model, and the success that we've had. That's the reason some of our oldest and biggest customers are still going strong with us, in fact growing their business that they're doing with every year on year, and at the same time picking up other customers in far and wide domains, in far and wide geographies. So our success is propelling us and helping improve the marketplace itself, taking the industry, the training itself to the next level.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Thank you, Mr. Piyush, for joining us in the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's time to take another short break. Keep watching Emerging SME. Welcome back. Bullock Cart Workers Development Association was established in 1985 with the primary objective of rendering selfless, dedicated and human service to poor section of society. BWDA's NBFC arm offers market-oriented financial services and other credit plus services to improve financial inclusion and access for the low-income households, marginalized and unbanked. Take a look.
Good evening, Ms. Alpina. Welcome to the show. So first of all, please tell us how Bauda Finance Limited was formed and what was the objective behind its inception.
Bauda Finance Limited has its roots in its parent company, Bullock Cart Workers Development Association. Bullock Cart Workers Development Association was started by Dr. C. Jocelyn Thambi in 1985 and was registered in 1986. Initially, the parent company Bauda did a lot of development activities, and at one point of time, we started forming self-help groups. This was in 1992, and in 1999, Bauda started its own microfinance program with support of RMK. Eventually, in 2003, to streamline the financial inclusion operations into a separate entity, the NBFC MFI was acquired and BFL started its operations.
What have been the major achievements from its inception?
We've been working at the grassroots level since 1985. Bauda Finance Limited till date has serviced over 15 lakh beneficiaries and has provided credit linkage of over 1,500 crores to our beneficiaries. We believe that the holistic empowerment of the beneficiary is the key. We work with them on water and sanitation, health, education, capacity building, women empowerment, senior citizen welfare and a lot of other areas. Bauda's work has benefited over 5.6 million beneficiaries.
What are the major services provided by Bauda Finance Limited to the economically weaker section of the society?
Bauda Finance Limited primarily offers financial inclusion services. So in terms of our credit products, we have group products as well as individual products. It's all primarily market-led solutions. We also offer water credit, which is primarily for development of water and sanitation infrastructure. Bauda Finance Limited has initiated this unique program for widows and destitute welfare. Through this program, we provide capacity building and also credit so that they can set up their own livelihoods and live a respectable life.
Please tell us about the various partners you work with.
We have two institutional investors. One is SIDBI, Small Industries Development Bank of India, and the other is Diya Vikas, which is the Indian subsidiary of Opportunity International Australia. We work with over 30 financial institutions and ranging from public sector banks to development entities to other financial institutions. We've been working with water.org for the past 5 years for creation of water and sanitation infrastructure. Our most recent partnership was with State Bank of India, and we've become their first business associate in the state of Tamil Nadu.
வணக்கம் சார், என்னுடைய பெயர் ராஜேஸ்வரி. வெள்ளி விழாவும் இதில் கொண்டாடி இருக்கோங்க சார். இது மூலமா நிறைய நாங்கள் பலன் பெற்றிருக்கிறோம். முக்கியமாக எங்களுக்கு பயிர் செலவு, படிப்பு செலவு.
As you know, with the fast growing population, there's still a lot more that we can do. There are newer areas that we would like to work with. Climate change, smart agriculture. These are areas which will enable our beneficiaries to create resilient livelihoods and a better future for themselves. We are looking forward to catering to many more beneficiaries in the years to come.
Thank you so much, Ms. Alpina, for coming to the show.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
With this, we come to the end of this episode. I'll be back next week with the success stories of few other SMEs. Till then, goodbye and take care.
Partnered by Times Influence.